Welcome everyone to the SX Array. Today we'll be going over the murder mystery of Mr. John O Keefe, a Boston police officer. His body was found a couple years ago outside of a acquaintance's home. His girlfriend is currently on trial, Karen Reed. This is a big one that we'll be covering over the next couple of weeks. It's a straight murder mystery, like straight out of a movie. People are saying it's a cover up. People are saying Karen Reed did it. Me personally, I have a couple different theories that we can go over at the end. You guys, please leave your comments, questions, theories, anything in the comment section on the video, and I will address them on the next video. I will also be doing some separate videos of the emotional court proceedings and her reactions and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and jump straight into it. December 31st, 2021, John O Keefe and Karen Reed fight in Aruba. January 28th, 2022, 9 p.m., Reed meets O'Keefe at C.F. McCarthy's. The same night, 10:54 p.m., Reed and O'Keefe arrive at Waterfall Bar and Grill. January 29th, 2022, 12 a.m., the Alberts invite everyone to their home on Fairview Road. The same night, 12:14 a.m., Jennifer McCabe calls John O Keefe. The same night, 12:15 a.m., Reed's car is spotted outside of the Alberts' home. Next slide. Same night, 12:15 a.m., Caitlin Albert leaves the Alberts' home. At 12:27 a.m., McCabe texts O'Keefe here, question mark, exclamation. 12:29 a.m., O'Keefe answers call from McCabe. January 29th, 2022, 12:30 a.m., Colin Albert leaves the Alberts' home. 12:31 a.m., McCabe texts O'Keefe, pull behind me. 12:40 to 12:45 a.m., McCabe texts O'Keefe, hello, where are you? Hello. Next slide. 1:30 a.m., the McCabe leaves the Alberts' home. 2:27 a.m., McCabe Googles how long to die in cold. 4:53 a.m., Reed calls McCabe and Carrie Roberts. 5 a.m. that morning, Julie Albert missed the call from McCabe. 5:07 a.m., Reed leaves O'Keefe's home to meet McCabe and Roberts. 6 a.m., Roberts, McCabe, and Reed meet at the Alberts' home. Next slide. 6:04 a.m., Reed calls 911. 6:04, 6:07, Canton police officers and emergency services arrive. 6:07 a.m., McCabe calls Nicole Albert twice. 6:23 a.m., McCabe calls Brian Albert and Googles how long to die in cold. 6:24 a.m., Sergeant Michael Lank arrives. 7:59 a.m., O'Keefe is pronounced dead. Now let's talk about this. The investigators believe Karen Reed hit John O'Keefe with her car, and he just died of hypothermia and blunt force trauma. That's what they believe. Karen Reed, the morning they found John's old body after they went looking for him, they went to the last place where she said she dropped him off at, and she even said to herself, based off witnesses, Jim McCabe and others, that, oh, did I hit him? I hit him, freaking out about the whole scenario. She was so delusional the whole morning. She even said, like, oh my God, I have blood on my hands. Did I start my period or something like that? I'm just like, yo, that is so crazy to me for her to say that. And as you can see from the pictures, if John O'Keefe was hit by a car, why would he have all these marks on his body? They say he even has bite marks. Now, keep this in mind. The Alberts, who home is pictured here below me, and that's where they were going for the after party after the bar. And he has a big German Shepherd, known to be very aggressive towards strangers and stuff like that, and known to always bark when people are outside the home or anything like that. In the morning, Jim McCabe walked into the house while they were sleeping. All this commotion is going on outside. The cops are outside, the ambulance, and the Alberts are asleep upstairs in the bedroom. She doesn't see the dog. The dog's not barking as it, or not being on high alert as it usually is. His body was found right over there by the fire hydrant. And as you can see, there's a back door to the house where if you go through that side door of the yard, the fence, you can go straight into the basement of the O'Keefe's house. And I'm saying all this is because one of my theories is if the Boston police or the Alberts or anybody else are involved and it wasn't Karen Reed that hit him, with her car, is possibly she dropped him off and maybe he went and maybe the guys were out back smoking a cigar, something like that, whatever the Boston people do. And they say, hey, man, come on in, no need to go through the front door. And possibly that's why Jim McCabe, the friend of John O Keefe, maybe that's why he never went through the front door, because she saw a car outside and texting him like, hey, are you here? Is that you? And maybe he just didn't go through the front door. It's a possibility that's what happened. Now, here's a whole side thing to this whole thing. It's this guy, Brian Nagich or whatever. He's an ATF agent, friends with this Albert guy who used to be a cop. He was on a TV show, and now he's in like the political world of Boston or Canton or whatever the case may be. It's rumor going around that he had a thing for Karen Reed, and they were texting somewhat. So another theory is he didn't like John or whatever the case may be. There's also a theory that Jim McCabe and John O Keefe was having an affair. So there's so many different sides of this whole thing that just doesn't add up. And I'm in the middle of who's involved or not. Actually they're saying Karen Reed she was arguing too, because she had arguments about the kids, because John O Keefe take care of his nephew and his niece because both of their parents died. So, that's all the family he was the closest thing they had as a father, a parent figure. And she was, a good mom to him, but he would sometimes say, hey, back off, know your role, stuff like that. And then so maybe Karen Reed killed him because of that, or she found out that he was talking to Jim McCabe. We don't know. As time goes on, we will get more truth to the story, or more cross-examinations, and see where this all lies at. But based off this guy's photos, man, like you can tell he has two black eyes, stuff like that. What are you saying, that she hit him with the car, then got out and started punching him? Did she give him the black eyes before she hit him with the car and scratched him up? Like, something doesn't add up. And on top of that, people were leaving. This one girl, Julie Nagel, as she was leaving, the McCabe's were in the same car with her. And she says something of the sorts, oh, what's that black blob sitting in the snow? And no one else, the McCabe's testified that they didn't hear her say anything of that sort. Keep in mind, they were all drinking. We don't know who drunk the most, or whatever the case may be, or who we can really count on for their words. We just don't know. So it's straight up murder mystery here. So you guys let me know what you all think is really going on here. I was cold-heartedly, I just started watching the trial footage last week, backtracking, trying to get caught up on this case. And I did some other research on the web, and I saw this video. There's a video going around. I'm going to play it here soon, where the main evidence is Karen Reed's tail light is broke. She even says, if my tail light's broke, maybe I hit him, or whatever the case may be. But from this video, you can see that she actually, when she went to go look for John, when she woke up and see John wasn't laying next to her, or whatever the case may be, she actually backed into John's car. And the car actually moves, and you can see like the tire move, and like she hit it that hard. And everyone's saying that even the dealership are saying like that tail light, even if you hit a body it would not crack. So they're saying that she backed into this car and that's where it cracked at. And the investigators did a terrible job of, pointing that out. So, the fact of she hit him with his car and he just fell over in the snow, hypothermia. They also found a shattered glass next to him. Karen Reed actually walked into the bar with her own, drinking glass. And they said that wasn't the same glass. So that right there, it's just another crazy, coincidence, and it's all over the place. This case is all over the place. And please keep in mind, this is extremely sad for everyone involved. People has been harassed by, different sides of the parties, and it's sad because now the kids lost another person close to them. There is a GoFundMe for them online somewhere if you guys want to go help support those kids. It's a murder mystery, but at the same time, people's lives are, extremely affected by this and have been put through the ringer. Both sides, and like you said, we don't know who's guilty here, who's not. But yeah, let me go ahead and play this video for you guys.
Up light onto Officer John O'Keefe's Traverse, which is behind there. See those tire tracks? She goes in at an angle, which means she definitely made contact with that side light that comes out 5 inches. We documented this, and see right there, that tire on John's car moves forward. It didn't go backwards. So the angle directs the motion of the vehicle when it got struck.
So what do you all think about that video? Let me tell you, after I saw that, I watched that on Saturday. I watched the last trial day was on Friday when the McCabe's were on the stand. After I saw that video, I was like, yo, I am definitely in the middle now. Like, this is crazy. Maybe it wasn't Karen Reed. Maybe it was. Maybe she killed him, but she didn't hit him with his car. Or maybe she did just drop him off. Because Jim McCabe saw the car outside in front of the house, right in front. And then the second time she went to go look, the car was gone. Brian Albert's son, he also saw the car. He looked, and the second time he looked, I can't remember the times right now. I have my notes, but I didn't pull them up. So he saw it. Then the second time, everybody was outside leaving. Some of them were leaving, family and friends. So it's like no one saw this blob on the side, besides Julie Nagel, who was obviously the only one looking around in the car while they were driving off. But it's like, it's really crazy to me. So let me pull my notes out for y'all. And we can go over these notes that I took that I found very, very interesting. So we know that the timeline of Jen McCabe, who called them over there to come hang out. Julie Nagel saw the blob of something in the snow when her and the McCabes were leaving in the same car when her brother picked her up because they don't want to drink and drive. Then, Reed asked Jen to Google how long it takes for a body to die in the cold. There's FBI records, supposedly, of them having Jen do that Google search around 2:00 a.m. after everyone left. So that's also weird to me. Also, Brian Albert, the guy who owns his house, the Alberts, who invited everyone over, he immediately calls Brian Higgins, the ATF guy I was telling you about, that everybody think that him and Karen Reed has something going on, or he had a thing for her, and he wasn't really fond of John O Keefe. And all these guys are really big into boxing and fighting. Some of them were trained in boxing. So there's videos of them in the bar play boxing. There's also a picture of Karen Reed, or video of Karen Reed showing up to the bar, kissing John O Keefe. Like, they're having a good time. So maybe they argued on the way to the house, and she said, you know what, I'm not going in there with them. You can go. I'll see you later. Have a good time. The other thing is, then Brian Albert, after all this says and done, after the McCabes go back home, after the body's found and such, he goes over to the house, and then Jen McCabe says on the stand on Friday, yeah, he, you know, to comfort, he came over to comfort them. It's like, girl, you have your husband to comfort you. And then so she goes upstairs and he's downstairs talking to her husband about the stuff, and she doesn't hear anything. You would think she would listen then to see what he's talking about or what he feels about the, you know, what Brian Albert feels about this whole thing. She doesn't. So that's also weird to me. Then it was yeah, I already said that he was already in the house when, you know, she was trying to say, hey, are you here? Was that you? Da 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 da. And I also feel like the McCabe people are saying the McCabes were like trying to like piss off Karen Reed because they before they left the bar, they were like, hey, if you guys don't want to drink and drive, ask Bella to give you guys a ride. This girl Bella, who's a friend of somebody's daughter or something like that. And Bella's mom used to date John O Keefe. So you're gonna put Karen Reed in a situation and say that like, oh yeah, ride with her, you know, and then everyone's saying Karen Reed felt some type of way about that. And it's also weird that the prosecution, the Commonwealth, they didn't put Jen on the stand first. They put all these other people on the stand first, and I think they did this to show the jury / judge the cloud of cover up of the cover up, to say, hey, this is the people that they're saying are covering up this, and here's a actual key witness to say, hey, I was there. I know what Karen Reed said. Karen Reed said, did I hit him? Was it me? Is this all my fault? And stuff like that. So it's pretty crazy. Tomorrow, Tuesday, will be the cross-examination for Jen McCabe. And I'm going to be watching this one. This is going to be a close one. So if you guys want to follow along with me, like and subscribe. We will be covering this case as it unfolds. It's going to be another couple weeks before all this is said and done. They're going to bring in specialists, stuff like that. More facts are shown. Her defense, Alan Jackson, is a famous lawyer. I'm pretty sure he has some stuff up his sleeve that he's just waiting to throw at the prosecution and these witnesses. So when it's all said and done, this is a pretty sad case, and I hope we get to the bottom of this, and I hope those responsible will be charged in the end. You know, maybe Karen Reed gets off, and this is all even sadder, where now they got to find some way to bring, you know, to charge this case on somebody else, and will that even happen? We don't know. And maybe there'll be some hardcore evidence where the jury will say, hey, you know, it was Karen. But after seeing that video of her hitting that car, like all that hitting, you know, he got hit with the car stuff, and like his body being like brutally beaten like this is so weird to me. And it's a whole nother side quest to this story too that I did not want to get into, about this guy Turtle Boy, who was supposedly going around harassing the Alberts and all the cops and stuff involved, saying you guys did this. And there's been protests going on, free Karen Reed. But yeah, really interesting. Thank you guys for checking this channel out. Like and subscribe. We will be doing more deeper diving in this when it comes to this case. And like I said, I'll make additional videos regarding the reactions of the video reactions and stuff like that. So you guys have a good one, and until next time, stay true.
I'm afraid they gon' kill me for this. Probably put me in my grave for the lyrics I spit. Been exposing the truth and all the secrets they covering. If I die, it was big pharma or government. Been putting too much truth in my songs. They gon' stage